Jack, Alex, very nice to see you both. You already know me. I'm Ben Cooper. I'm a strategy director at Eat Big Fish, and I'm interviewing you both on behalf of the Challenger Project. It'd be great if you could just introduce yourselves briefly, and then we'll get stuck in.
Excellent. Ben, thanks so much for having us on. I'm Alex, one of the co-founders of Dash, and then we've got Jack as well.
Hi, Ben. Yeah, Jack, the other side of Dash Water.
The other side of the dash. Very good. Guys, just for someone who doesn't already know kind of who Dash Water are, what you guys do, what you guys make, tell us in a nutshell.
Sure. So Dash is really simple. We start off with freshly sprung spring water. We add bubbles, and then we infuse it with wonky fruit. It contains no sugar, sweetener, or calories, and comes in a sleek aluminium can.
I think what's quite striking is that you guys have managed to seem to successfully weave in kind of this wonky message around food waste and your ambitions around reducing food waste into quite a beautifully designed packaging and product and stuff. So how do where does wonky sit within the kind of hierarchy of what you're trying to talk about, and how do you execute your brand to kind of tell the messages that you really that you feel are most important to brand building?
Yeah, so we've always been of the opinion that the way the product looks and the liquid is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So when you're starting out, you've got to firstly get people to grab it off the shelf and be interested in how it looks and like how it looks to your target consumer. But then also that it's got to taste fantastic and that people will want to repurchase your product. So we didn't believe that the wonky message should be up front in that. So that's just a secondary layer that we're something that we're really proud of. And that when people come into our brand, they'll hopefully, hopefully be more loyal and will understand. And through our different communications, we can relay that message. So whether it's on a multi-pack in a supermarket where there's an opportunity to talk about the wonky story, or whether they buy it online and we can take them through, some great email marketing about the story. But first and foremost, we're a great tasting drink that hopefully appeals to our target consumer and makes them feel great about themselves, or it's their little bit of excitement in the day.
How do you guys determine what's really on strategy and what's really off strategy? Because presumably the desire to growth can come from lots of different places, but you guys need to be really focused on your own kind of mission and on your own brand. So how do you guys filter out what's on and off brand and where you really want to go with what you're doing?
We now have some really strong brand values that we live and die by. One is simplicity. So our product is really, really simple. It's just water, bubbles, and wonky fruit. So everything that we do as a marketing team, or any work that we're doing online, whether it's a campaign on social media, it's an influencer talking about our products or whatever, we just want to make it really, really simple so people can understand what it is we do and why we exist. The other one is transparency. So like our water, I think when we started Dash, we were keen to make, a label deck that people could really understand. We wanted to talk about the real farms where the wonky fruit came from. So relaying and just being really transparent with how we make our products, how we treat people within the supply chain, and how we, work as a team. We want it to be always, really transparent.
Have you had to turn stuff down or turn either opportunities down, or there's been a big commercial upside to something but isn't aligned to those values, that you've had to say it's just it's good for someone but not for us?
I think in marketing, we sort of, for me, it's about doing less but making sure that everything is, you know, bang on. So
Right.
so I think that that's been our approach to it. So there is obviously lots of things that you sort of turn down, whether it's sort of opportunities to in marketing. And then in regards to the sort of wider business, there's obviously been opportunities with maybe retailers who want to do sort of like a co-branded product. But that, for us, again, it sort of muddies the water and potentially sort of sacrifices some of that brand equity and simplicity of the brand. So we've been keen to make sure that we, as tempting as it is for, you know, getting more volume into the business, I think it's important that we really hold on tight to that brand equity, especially as it's such a simple product that people can easily, you know, replicate.
What are your ambitions for outside of the UK? What are some of the, I suppose, opportunities that you guys see, and what are some of the things that you expect to navigate or are navigating?
Yeah, when we launched Dash in the UK 3.5 years ago, we were one of the first brands to launch in our seltzer category. And we had to do a lot of education, flavored sparkling water in a can that was unsweet, didn't have sugar or sweetener. And so when people tried it for the first time, they often thought, that's a little bit strange. Where's the full-on flavor that I'm used to having with a canned product? The second side was explaining the wonky. You know, why do we use surplus fruit and veg? So it took about 2 years for retailers and consumers to really start understanding it. The key thing was that our category, our seltzer category, started to become more populated as well. And so with other brands joining in, it really amplified the noise, and consumers really started to get used to the product and the flavor. So the UK is starting to mature, which is great. The US with our category is already very mature. And we see so much headroom in headspace in the rest of the world. So we currently export to about 20 different markets. This year we will produce internationally for the first time in another market. The key thing for this is we really want to try and localize what we do. So using local wonky fruit and veg, local spring water is hugely important for us. We don't want to be shipping product across the other side of the world. So that's a really exciting opportunity for us. The key again is that the education piece does take a long time. So in order to break the habits that consumers are used to having with their sugary and artificially filled soft drinks, it does just take a little while. We've got to be patient. Change doesn't happen overnight. We've got to show consumers a better way.
Great stuff.